In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Instax Mini EVO. It does come in two different colors, but this is the black one. It does come in brown as well. We'll just go ahead and look at the physical body of the camera. So essentially what this is like an Instax camera that is digital, but also prints physical Instax Mini films. So it's kind of a combination of two different cameras, which is awesome. As you can see on the front here, we have the shutter button, we have the on-off switch, and then we do have the lens here. It is fixed 28mm and f2.0. We also have a little mirror here, which you can use to kind of frame your selfies. It is very small, so it's a bit hard to see, but it does work well enough. And then we can also go ahead and change your filters and things here, rotating that, but I'll go ahead and show you that later. We also have the flash here, and then we have a little LED, which will indicate if you're counting down to take a timer photo or something like that. On the top here, we do have where the film comes out. Going on the side here, we do have a hot shoe mount. It's not powered or anything, but you are able to add a light or something like that if you would like to. Then we also have another sort of filter dial here. We have a little button for creating presets, and then we have another option for your shutter. So depending on how you're holding it, if you're holding it like this, taking kind of horizontal photos, it works with that shutter. Or if you're taking vertical photos, you can use this one on the front. So nice to have those both options. On the back here, we just have the display, and then we have some other buttons as well. We have another button that creates presets. We have a button for playing back the photos you've already taken. We have a back button, of course, and then we have a little wheel for selecting things, and then a menu button. This button is for opening it to add the film, which we'll do in a second. And then on the bottom here, we do have a spot for charging, which is via USB-C, as you can see. And then we also have a micro SD card slot, so you can swap those out or add a higher capacity, whatever you need. So it is nice to have that external storage option as well. So to add the film, we just kind of open this slot here. It is kind of easier if you let gravity help you. So you can kind of open it like that, and then it will flop out. And as you can see, we have the space for the physical film, which I'll go ahead and open a pack here. And to add the film, you just want to make sure these yellow lines are lined up. So there's the yellow line in the camera and the yellow line on the film itself. Just put it in that little package like that. It says do not touch that part. So let's just go ahead and get that in there. And then once you close it, it will automatically eject the kind of protective cover, as you can see in a second. So that protective cover is coming out now. And then you want to make sure you don't open it anymore, because it will, of course, expose the film. So put that off to the side. We'll go ahead and turn on the camera just to show you the features inside of it. So as you can see on the bottom here, we do have these little dots. It is 10 of them. That shows you your count for film left. We just added a new film packet, so we do have all 10 shots left. I'll go ahead and show you the different filters. We'll use this little frog here as a kind of model. So this is the front wheel I was talking about, and you can see if we turn it here, so we're just turning that here. It does have a bunch of different options. So there's vignette, there's soft focus, there's blur, there's fisheye, and a bunch of different options, which are kind of the physical effects, quote unquote, of the camera. So those things that are actually altering it. So you have also color shift, light leak, and more, dramatic things. This one is mirror. Then we also have the double exposure, which will let you take one photo and then take another one, and it will combine both into one single photo. And then we also have the half frame if you want to take a picture and then take another one. Again, it will combine them, but it will put one on the top and one on the bottom, which is cool if you want to combine two different photos, like stacked on top of each other. Go back to normal here, and then the other kind of filters we have are more like color ones. So these are kind of like film effects. So you can see we have retro here. We're starting off on 10, and then there's blue, red, yellow, sepia, monochrome, canvas, pale, vivid, and then back to normal. So this one is, again, has some color things, but it's more, I would say, kind of physical effects, and then this one is more for colors and film styles. So it is nice. You can definitely make some combinations. You can have, fisheye or something. This one's soft focus. Let's do blur, and then you can have a blur with vivid color, for example, or pale color. And then you can use either this button on the top or this button here to create a preset if you wanted to. So you can push that button, and it will set a preset to allow you to go back to that combination whenever you want. So it is definitely nice that you can really control the style of the photo, which is very fun. Within the menu here, we do have a bunch of menu settings. I won't bore you with all of them, but you can see that you do have a lot of control. There's some face detection, there's some autofocus illuminator, Bluetooth settings. You can change the print quality, the brightness, the time, And then on the other setting here, we have the date stamps, the language, sound, auto power, formatting, and then the firmware upgrade. So a bunch of different settings you can definitely control a lot. And if by pushing this back button when you're at the main screen, you can also get some information about all the different settings you're using, and then it will show you like the exposure, the time, if the timer's on, all these different things. So tons of different settings you can play around with, which is definitely very nice. And that is part of the fun of it, is that not only can you customize the color and everything, but you can also really dial into the settings that you actually want to use, which is very nice. Definitely a lot more advanced than a normal Instax camera in that sense. For now, I'll also go ahead and take a picture just to show you what it looks like when it prints. So we'll go ahead and focus here, and then you can take a photo. And then once you've taken a photo, you do have the option to print it or not. So that's our photo. We can just press the play button. And then if you want to print it, you can just pull this little lever. So you do have the option to just go ahead and print. So once we do that, it'll show you a kind of animation, and then it will go ahead and, print at the top here. Again, you do have the option to print or not, which is nice. So you can take a bunch of digital photos and then print them if you choose, or print the only one you like. You can also print multiple copies. So once this one goes, if you wanted to print it again, you can, which is also nice if you want to give one to a friend or something like that. So that is a very cool feature to have as well. So now we have the physical print here. Of course, it will take around a minute maybe to fully appear, but I'll go ahead and speed that up to show you. Alright, so it has been about a minute. We did choose soft focus, so you can see it's not going to be super sharp, but you can still get a good idea of the quality. Definitely is better quality than I would expect. It won't be like a phone or something like that, but it is nice. It is still very good quality overall. I do think it is a lot better than the normal Instax cameras, even on a soft focus, so definitely nice. You can capture a good amount of detail with it. Next, I'll go ahead and show you the mobile app that attaches with this. One nice thing about the mobile app that I think is very unique is that you can also use this as a printer. So any photo you've taken on your phone, you can actually connect to this camera and then use it kind of as a printer. So you don't necessarily have to use this as the camera. You can actually print any photo from your phone directly on this as a sort of printer. So I'll go ahead and show you that functionality in the mobile app now. So this is just what the mobile app looks like. At the top you can see that it says add your device, but we can go ahead and turn on the camera, and if you've connected previously, it will connect automatically and pretty quickly. Let's give it a second. And then, like you said, it appears at the top here. So you can see the name of the camera, the battery level, and then how many prints you have left. We printed the one already, so you can see we only have 9 out of 10 left. Then the different settings we have here, the first one is the direct print I was talking about. So you can go ahead and push the select image button, and then choose any photo from your camera roll, and then you will open it within the app. You can edit it a little bit if you want to, and then you can print it directly from the camera as if it were a printer, which is very nice. Next setting we have here is this remote shooting option. This is great for shooting group photos or things like that where you want to include everyone in the photo. So you can go ahead and put the camera down somewhere and then turn on this live view mode, and it will allow you to kind of see your surroundings and everything. And then you can go ahead and use this button on the bottom to actually take the photo, which is very nice. You can control the flash and put on a timer if you want to, all from the mobile app. So definitely great for remote shooting. You do have the option of just using a timer on the camera, but I think it's very nice to have that option to have that live view and actually be able to push the shutter button whenever you want to remotely from your phone. The other option we have here is for transferred images. I think it's a little bit silly, but you have this option in the camera. Any photo that you've printed, you can quote unquote send to your phone. It is only for ones that you've printed, but it will appear here in that transferred image section. Images that you do transfer in that way will have that kind of frame on them, the traditional Instax frame, just a digital version. But if you want to get the photos from the camera, you can of course just put the SD card into the computer and then get them that way. So I think the transferred image section is a little bit gimmicky, but it is still there. And then we do have some of the settings you can change. Most settings are in the camera itself, but you are able to access a couple of them, like this print mode option. You can set the location and then some other things like firmware updates and such. So that is the mobile app. It is very easy to use, and like I said, the camera connects very quickly if you've connected before. So definitely very happy with it. I use the direct print by far the most because it's very nice to be able to print photos from your phone in case you've forgotten to take a picture, or if you're just looking for a better quality or things like that. So this direct print option is very nice. So it's kind of a camera, printer, and a normal Instax camera all in one little package. So I think that covers the majority of the Instax Mini EVO. I'm definitely very happy with this camera. I've had it for a couple of years now and I absolutely love it. I was getting a bit tired of my normal Instax photos coming out too dark or blurry or something like that. That is sort of part of the magic of it, of course, but I do think it's very fun to be able to add these different film styles, but also see the photos and make sure it's correct lighting and things like that before printing it. And you are able to print multiple. So if your friends want copies or things like that, you're able to do that. And it is also very nice to be able to print some photos that you got off your phone, just in case you don't have this camera at the exact moment you want to print, things like that. So it's definitely a lot of fun. I'm very happy with it overall, and I highly recommend it.